here today at Easton's Xeriscape Garden, a demonstration garden to show plants and flowers that require very little water. The creators of this garden, which is located at the Water Division on Bay Road, are going to tell us a little bit about why it's so important to reduce outdoor watering and how we can plan and plant a garden like this on our own.
We're looking for some different tools to help educate the residents of Easton as to ways to reduce their water consumption, especially during the summer months when our pumping capacity increases 2 and sometimes 3-fold. We could go from pumping 1 million gallons of water a day to over 4 million gallons.
Wayne approached me, and I was like any other typical gardener at home. I didn't like the way I was watering. I was watering too much. So the Xeriscape Concept is establishing the plant, which we've done here. We did a design based on the Xeriscape, based on New England, planted our plants properly, and then the first couple of months, because they were brand new plants, is when we watered what I would say wisely, and that's creating a water ring around each plant with the mulch and just watering into that ring. So we were not using sprayers which were evaporating into the air. We were not causing our bark mulch to mildew because it was too wet. This beautiful zebra grass, which is a drought tolerant plant, and I don't know if the sun's catching the stripes on it. The first thing I'm going to do is make sure, I've dug the hole, make sure the height, that's too low. So I'm going to add some more soil back in here because we want it X amount of inches above. I'm adding some compost. This compost is 3 years old, and you see I have a few eggshells in it that haven't decomposed yet. That adds nutrients into the soil, and this is basically grass, leaf, sand, anything possible that would be in your garden, your kitchen that's green. Cucumbers, lettuce, tomatoes, all that.
There are a whole selection of plants and flowers that are drought tolerant. Both of Easton's garden centers have a large selection of them. There's Flynn's Farm right down the road here on Bay Road and Country Gardens of Easton on Route 138. We're going to head over to Easton Country Gardens, return these ornamental grasses they lent us, and see what other flowering plants they have to offer.
Having a mix of annuals and perennials in the garden is good. Ideally, if you can have 60-40 ratio, 60% perennial, 40% annuals, then you're doing a lot to save on water. Some annuals I'd like to show you. This is a Petunia. It's a proven winter Petunia, which is ever blooming. It is a new hybrid and where no pinching is required, so they will not go to seed, and they'll continue to flower throughout the season. The petunias, once the roots are established, they don't require a lot of water. This is a new garden in progress, and this has not been watered in at least a week. So you can see how lovely they grow. Next to it you can see we have a lavender. This is a lavender plant, and lavenders too, once they're established, are drought tolerant. They don't require a lot of water. They're very fragrant. They're also a great plant if you're using aromatherapy. Perennial Sedum. This is Sedum. The variety is Autumn Joy. Your sedums are extremely drought tolerant. They're a succulent. You can tell by looking at the leaves. They hold a lot of water. These, again, once established, require no water throughout the summer. They are just a marvelous plant for the perennial garden. The sedums have cousins. They have cousins that are different colors as well. This one here in the center is called Sedum matrona. It has maroon stems and maroon tinted leaves. These again will bloom later in the summer. They'll bloom in August and also throughout the September. Something you may be very surprised about in the garden that shows up in your yard is this plant, Queen Anne's lace. Technically it's a biennial, meaning that it has a 2-year lifespan, but it self-sows before it drops its seed and it comes into the garden. It's a beautiful plant, extremely drought tolerant.
Well, great. Thank you so much, Polly. I'm amazed at how many plants really are drought tolerant. It's really my kind of a garden. It involves a little care. Mm-hmm. And now if only we can invent a plant that's weed tolerant.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you.